Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Inspired Nation podcast. I am your host as always, Dr. Dustin Bain, and today's message is this. It really matters. It all freaking matters. You matter. Lean back, open up your mind, and let the inspiration light your path to a greater tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen of the Inspired Nation jury, I am coming at you telling you that you were special. You have a gift inside of you that no one else can take from you, that no one else can duplicate, that no one else can copy, that no one else can plagiarize. You have this gift, and you're the only one that can bring it into the world. You know, I could sit here and I can try to explain to you what it feels like to give birth, but I'm pretty certain I can't tell you what that's like. You know, 2 years ago, I set up a program, in fact, a workshop that was designed to have pregnant women come in. I was going to explain to them exactly, Delivered was the name of it. I was going to explain to them, you know, things that are going to be offered to them in the delivery room, what options are going to be available to them at the time, all this stuff. And I was the guy sitting there, and I probably had 15 or 20 people at this talk, or at this workshop. And I started talking, and I'm leading, and I got my fancy PowerPoint projectors going. I got all these pictures going. I've got samples. I've got little baby dolls I'm going to show examples on of what's going to happen. All this stuff. I got it all sitting there, and I'm sitting there doing this. And I'm not kidding. I got maybe 5 minutes into this talk. And if you were in this talk, you completely understand because you were there and you'll appreciate what I did. I was sitting there, first 5 minutes, explaining birth. Yeah, if you can't tell by the sound of my voice and this is your first time joining me, I'm a male. I've never given birth myself. So for me to try and explain to someone else, specifically a woman, what contractions feel like, what pushing a baby out is going to feel like, me trying to explain this, it's impossible. It's trying to explain chocolate to a person who's never experienced it, right? You cannot explain it. You have to only experience it. So everything that you've ever done in your life, every experience that's ever happened to you, whether it's a loss of a loved one, whether it's success in a sporting venue, whether it's success and prosperity in business, whatever has happened to you, whether it's a loss in a business, whatever, any experience that you have ever had starts to unveil your gift. Starts to unveil the story and the message that you are going to be available to deliver to other people. Right? You know, there's phony balonies out there who are trying to explain something that they're not that they're not congruent with. Like I said, I tried giving that talk and I got 5 minutes in and said, this isn't going to work. And the beauty of that talk and that workshop was, I think there were 3 or 4 midwives in this group. Yeah, imagine how awkward I felt trying to explain birth process, having been through 3 myself, and they were all home births, what this was like. And I literally, first 5 minutes, I sat and I looked at them like, you know what? You guys have actually been through this. You've experienced what this is like. Would you guys like to take this over for me? And I'll just kind of give my 2 cents, my 10 cents in of things that I've heard, things that I've talked to when I've discussed with other mothers and parents on natural childbirth. Does this sound good to you? They looked at me and they just took over. And I was like totally cool with that. And I think it turned into one of the better workshops because I didn't get to talk. Right? I didn't get to share this is probably what it's going to feel like. I read a book and it explained what this is supposed to feel like. It's like when you're trying to set a goal, when you're trying to set a target, and you start reading books on what these goals are, what these targets are, like you want to go, your target is to swim, but you've never been in a pool. The only way you're going to learn to swim is if you hop in that pool. It's not going to be on reading books. It's not going to be listening to podcasts. It's not going to be watching movies. It's going to be if you get your butt into the pool, into the surroundings, into the circumstances, actually going to make you learn what that's like. It's no different than the birth process, kids. I could sit there and listen and read and watch videos of what I think it's looked like based on the mother's facial expressions and everything that's going on, but I can't experience it. I'm not physically there. My emotions aren't attached to it. My feelings are not in the game. But when you have an experience in your life that gives you sadness, when you have an experience in your life that gives you happiness, when you have an experience in your life that gives you joy, that is something that you can talk about. That is something that you can share. That begins to form your gift. And that gives you credibility for that which you are discussing. So looking into 2020, because it's coming right around the bend, kids. It's coming up within the next, what are we into? Like 57-ish days, I read, or something. 56, under 60 days. In the next decade, 2020 to 2030, what are you going to do? What experiences are you going to create for other people? What gifts are you going to allow to come to the surface of you? Or are you going to continue putting the damper on them, keeping them at bay? People are out there waiting for you to share your message. People are out there waiting to share your gifts. People are out there waiting for you. But you have to be willing to step into that. You have to be willing to step over, through, under the barrier that doesn't allow you to do that currently. And for some, it's lack of confidence. For some, it's lack of certainty. And how do you get those things? You create commitment and discipline within your own life. Right? You say you're going to do something, you do it. And over time, these step-by-step, seemingly insignificant little things, these daily workouts, these daily post-its to loved ones, these these weekly date nights, whatever you say you're going to do, you do it. The reason you're not confident, the reason you're not certain is because you don't follow through with what you say you're going to do. You start to disbelieve anything that you're saying to anybody else. You start to disbelieve anything that you're going to do because you haven't committed to yourself. Again, congruence. What is it you're trying to create in 2020? What do you commit to doing? Commit to it. That will give you the certainty. That will give you the steps. That will give you the belief in yourself that someone is willing to listen to your message. Someone is willing to accept the gift that you're giving. And the other thing to do, and there's a lot going on here, but the other thing that you need to do with this, disengage from the outcome. Your job isn't to dictate what someone else hears. Your job is to simply deliver the message, right? In a chiropractic sense, I heard this once from one of my mentors. We were out there at a screening, and I was explaining what chiropractic was. And nobody was accepting, willing to come into the clinic, right? They used to we would be out there explaining chiropractic. We'd allow them to come into the clinic and do a scan and find an examination. We'd explain what was going on and give recommendations and go from there. Well, there was a moment of time where there was probably 2 hours, 3 hours that went by, and I had screened maybe 20, 30 people, and nobody was saying, yeah, I'll come in, that sounds good. And I started getting down on me. I'm like, God, what the hell? Why am I saying wrong? What's going on? What is wrong with me? And my mentor pulled me aside. He said, listen, get out of your own way. Get out of your own way. You are stopping. You are putting up the barrier to these people. Your job, what is your job? Your job isn't to get them in the door. Your job is to explain what you do as best as you can, with as much enthusiasm and passion as it gives you. The people that want what you have will be attracted to that. They'll be attracted to the message. When you get connected to the outcome of, gosh, they're not showing up. Gosh, I'm not losing any weight. Gosh, I'm not finding any relationship. Gosh. You start to shoot yourself in the foot from everything else that you could be doing along that time, the process to getting to those results. Commit to the process, commit to the daily grind, commit to delivering what it is you said you're going to deliver, and let the outcome be what it's supposed to be. You can't control the outcome. You can't control what other people think. You can't control what other people say. You can't control any of that. All you can control are the actions that you take on a consistent basis. When you start to do it consistently, when you start to do it with commitment every single day, when you say you would, your confidence and certainty starts to build. Now what starts to happen? You start to get excited. You start to share. All of a sudden your gifts start to come to the surface and you're not afraid to share them. Do this. Lose the results, forget the results you're aiming for. Focus on what is it going to take today to get me there. Did I do it? Or did I not? The choice is yours. Hope everybody has an amazing day. You know what to do at this point. Stay inspired.